Hey, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Katie.
You're listening to Not-Stalgia. If you collect all the episodes of our podcast, a big dragon will appear and grant you a wish.
Could I wish that I never have to do this podcast again?
Daggers to my heart. Kate, what do you know about... Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Lay it all out for us.
So when I was little, I thought it was Dragon Balls.
Oh, that would make sense.
With a Z.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally written right after it. I can see that. That's fair.
I know that you love it.
How do you know that?
Because you own every single book of it. And I think every single DVD that has ever come out.
From where we're seated.
Which we could have used to buy our house.
I know. If I, as a teenager, if I had saved that money, the compound interest would be insane. From where we're sitting, we can see a shelf, an entire shelf that is...
It's pretty full.
How many are there? 14 of the big volumes of the manga. Okay, so you know I like it, yes. But what do you know about the series itself?
I know that there are some balls that you gotta find.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how you find them, or who finds them, or why you need them.
Do you know any of the characters' names?
Pants. No, Trunks. I do know one. Isn't there one like called Shirts? They all have little names that work together, right?
Their names are all like puns, yeah.
Bread and jam.
And my understanding is that the names are like funnier puns and less like ridiculous in Japanese. They're like puns where the Japanese word maybe it could be a name or it could be a food or clothing,
okay.
But here it's like Trunks
like
is not
pants,
a name.
yeah.
Right.
What else do I know? I know there's a little guy who has a tail.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's an old man who's like kind of a lecherous punk.
Mm-hmm. Wow, how do you know that?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Right? It's osmosis. I think that's literally all I know.
Okay.
Oh, I know there's fighting. A lot of fighting.
Fair, yes. Okay, you've covered a lot there, but you are fairly a clean slate overall, I'd say. You don't know much about the story, because that's a sprawling series to not know many of the details about the story.
I'm really hoping it doesn't suck.
Well, yeah, so some background here.
A lot of time that I'm going to have to put in right now.
We are not quarantined for coronavirus, but we're like unofficially quarantined.
No, it's our work is closed. Our place of work is not open.
Our place of work is closed. Both of us are working. Well, no, we're not even working from home. We're literally.
I don't know what we're doing.
We just found out we're just closed for 2 weeks. At least. It's going to get, guys, I'm predicting right now, it's going to be more than 2 weeks. We've been putting off this episode forever because it just has been too intimidating, honestly, for me. So it seems like the fact that we're off for so long, we might be able to put a little bit of time each day into this and actually get a Dragon Ball episode of our show done.
Maybe I'll even like it because there's literally nothing else to do.
Very true. See, teenage Tyler buying these DVDs. I wish I had predicted the advent of streaming, though. But buying these DVDs, they finally came in handy. You know, even if it's a national disaster and the internet gets shut off, as long as we have power, we can watch these. Or we can hook up a bike to it and watch them. This is I wish I had actually collected statistics, but I can tell you that for a fact that this is our most requested episode of the podcast ever.
It's because only your friends call in.
Well, no, but even so... I promote the podcast in various forms, so like I'll make Imager posts, and I always say at the end, tell us what to watch next. It shows up there from strangers on the internet all the time.
Don't talk to strangers on the internet.
That's
what my mom told me.
It's been mentioned in many of our calls. If you go back and listen to any episodes where we had a call in at the beginning, a request, a lot of people have included it as like if they said multiple things. Dragon Ball is one of them. And I've always said, whenever we listen to those calls, I said, hey, we're going to do it eventually, and now's the time. One of the most impassioned pleas for this came from my good friend growing up, Rob. We've heard from him before on the podcast. He recommended Final Fantasy VII for us a while back.
Oh, the eco-terrorism one.
Yes.
I like it.
So we just got off the phone with him. I told him, hey, we're doing this, so call us. Although now that I'm thinking about it, we're about to play that phone conversation. He said the name Trunks on that call. That's the only reason you know that character's name. So here's our call from 5 minutes ago with my old friend, Rob.
Hey, how's your guys' quarantine going?
It's going great.
It's
been
day
18
2.
hours. I've almost killed Tyler 12 times, and things are going awesome.
It's just a matter of time. Like, everything is going to shut down probably in the whole country, I'm assuming, during the next 2 weeks.
Truly.
Yeah.
So we're looking down the barrel of that, and thinking that it might be a good time to watch all of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, not a better time to be watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Would you guys be watching, like, Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so Katie has no idea what the difference is. We're gonna watch Dragon Ball, and the plan, pretty much as it stands now, is we'll watch, like, at least during the quarantine, we'll watch the first arc, the first 13 episodes.
For a show about exploring your nostalgia, I feel like Dragon Ball is like is that your favorite show of all time, Tyler?
Yeah, I have written in my notes that it's like my favorite media franchise of all time. Like, the whole thing is just awesome.
Yeah, I have so many fond memories of Dragon Ball because of you.
Well, do tell.
We've argued over the fact, I'm not sure which is true. One of us introduced the other to Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, it's like a chicken and the egg thing. I truly don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was you introducing me, but you held and pointed out that it might have been me introducing you, and I just can't recall. But at one point, we both got into Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. And this was Z, because this was before the original Dragon Ball had come over to the U.S. Like, they started with Dragon Ball Z. And I definitely recall it being, like, one of those things where, like, something came over, and it's not like now, like, now when something comes over, everything kind of comes with it. Like, every video game comes out, you know, and, like, toys are on the shelf immediately. That wasn't really the case, and this was kind of a surprise hit, I think. Mm-hmm. By the time it came over to America, it long finished in Japan. And so, like, my brother's friends, my brother is, you know, a few years older than me. He'd be upset if I said how many years older than me on the podcast. But he was a teenager when Dragon Ball was around, and his friends were all into it. And they would actually import videotapes that were, like, fan-translated videotapes of Dragon Ball Z. So, like, it was, like, one of those things where, like, you never saw all of it all at once in a row. Mm-hmm. And, like, you would get information about, like, later in the series. Like, I remember you had a fan magazine.
Yeah, oh my god, I still have it somewhere.
Is it still in this house?
Yeah, it's in our guest room. I'm gonna get it out when we start watching.
And I remember, like, it had this, like, information about stuff that would, like, happen later in the series, but, like, much, much later in the series. So it'd be like, oh, there's this character, Majin Buu, and, you know, the main character goes Super Saiyan 3, and we would just lose our minds over what that will be like, you know?
Exactly, and, like, that info was 99% accurate, but also a little wrong sometimes, too.
Yeah, because it's all, like, based on, like, people watching fan translations and stuff. Remember how desperate I was for a Dragon, because I'm a big video gamer, and I was desperate for, like, a Dragon Ball Z video game, and the first video game came out was, like, a video game version of the Dragon Ball Z card game. That was terrible, but I played it obsessively.
Of course you did. It's all that you had.
And then eventually better games started to come out. I always wonder if, like, you can experience media in the same way as back then, because it was so limited that, like, we watched the show out of order, you know?
Right.
Like, it wasn't easy to watch the show and, like, watch it, like, the way you would now, like, on Netflix or something. There would just be one episode after the other. It's like, oh, well, I missed the last 3 episodes because I had homework or something, you know?
And add on to the fact that, like you said, Z aired first, so, like, you jumped in basically at, like, episode 200, and that was the first episode, if you were lucky enough to even start there.
No, totally. And more often than not, like, I remember the first, I could be misremembering this, but I want to say the first series I watched was the Android Saga.
That makes sense. I am about the same there because, like, we had cable, but Cartoon Network wasn't included with it until the Android Saga was airing. I very vividly remember that.
I think it was, like, the storyline where Trunks shows up from the future and is, like, and, like, they're waiting on Goku. And I just was, like, so into it, but I had no idea what was happening or anything what the characters are.
Right.
My introduction to Frieza, like, one of the major villains of the series was, him getting murdered by Trunks.
Right, after he had, like, already died, but we didn't really understand that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So then, I guess my question for you is, why was this so good to us then?
It's interesting. I think that there wasn't, so, like, it kind of was a combination of things, which is, you gave me a heads up that we were doing this. I was like, why was this show so important to us? I think it's because, at the time, as you guys have kind of gotten into on your podcast, a lot of the TV shows were just like goofy cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't any that had, I mean, even if they had action, they never had any, like, I hate to say serious storyline, because, like, it's not the most serious story in the world. Most of it's are they going to win this fight type stories.
Right, but
And, like,
it's a drama.
There's insane backstory to it. It had a lot of lore.
Right.
You know? And there wasn't much that was, like, pure, I guess this is pure, like, what you see as, like, traditional Western pure fantasy. But, like, it is kind of a fantasy show. Like, the original series is based on a traditional Chinese, like, novel, you know, folktale type thing. And it just had a vibe that I think wasn't, like, anything else. And I think, like, kind of, it's why anime, I remember watching almost everything that was on the Toonami slate of TV shows. Like, I would watch Sailor Moon, which you guys have discussed. I watched Gundam. I watched Outlaw Star, but I think Dragon Ball just had, like, instead of above the rest, because it just had, I don't even know, just, I guess, again, like, complicated, long, these simple storylines was very pleasing, and to see, like, an action show. I've always been a little scared to show the series to my nephew, because while there are some problematic aspects to it, to a modern viewer, you know, that aren't great.
Can't wait.
But I was playing the video game, the fighting game that they released, with him and describing the characters, and he just, like, turned to me. He's like, he's like, Uncle Rob, this sounds like a story that, like, an 8-year-old would come up with. It's true. It is the story. Yes. I was like, yes, that is what it is. But also, because of that, it is very pleasing.
I'm wondering then, my only worry is, you know, we liked it maybe because it's the first, like, long, sprawling drama we've ever seen. But, you know, for someone like Katie, who has been able to watch, like, prestige television like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, you know, will this hold any of that magic over her? Is it just the format and it being our first introduction to that format that really hooked us? I don't know.
Yeah, it's always hard. I've gotten back to it. I've rewatched Dragon Ball Z, and I've watched I actually like the new series a lot, Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
I think works a lot towards fixing some of those problems that I have with the series, like introducing more female characters and, you know, not being as creepy, which I guess we'll get into after we actually watch the show a little bit more. It's also like that thing, it's like almost like the Star Wars thing. You know, I couldn't tell you whether or not I would feel like it as much if I'd seen it for the first time as an adult. I might, but I, you know, can't say for certain.
Right, which is why this will be a great experiment.
I can't wait to dive in. I'm really excited.
Katie likes Dragon Ball.
I'm super pumped. I actually can't wait.
Well, only because you have nothing better to do.
I truly, this is, you know what? This could be a golden era for Not-Stalgia.
We're going to record so much. Thank you for calling and sharing those memories, Rob. We are going to call you at some point within the next 2 weeks and tell you how it went.
I'll try to, you guys are going to do the first storyline? I'll try to watch it again. I haven't actually watched Dragon Ball in a long time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It'd be a good catch up for me.
Do it.
But I haven't watched shit.
Yeah, just try to watch the first 13, and then we'll reconvene.
Looking forward to it.
Cool, man.
Thanks.
Stay healthy.
Yes.
All right, we'll check in soon.
You too.
See you, dude. Kate, background information. Your favorite part of the podcast, right?
Yes.
Dragon Ball was created by Akira Toriyama. He's a manga artist, so he writes and draws the volumes you see over on our shelf. Okay.
Don't they have problems? Like they're so overworked and tired?
Oh yeah, it's a huge problem.
You told me about that once.
I mean, he worked on this, as you'll see, for a very, very long time. Yes, these men and women are under extreme pressure to produce because this was published every week in Weekly Shonen Jump from 1984 to 1995. Imagine that. They're very detailed drawings. There's a lot of work to do. They do give you assistance once you hit a certain level of success, but it's still a lot of drawing. In that time, there were 519 individual chapters, which are collected in 42 different volumes, and I have the big versions, which is why I think there's 3 each in those, which is why there's only 14. As Rob told us, it's inspired by Journey to the West. Are you familiar with that? It's a Chinese novel.
Yeah, there's a Monkey King. Everybody knows the Monkey King story.
But later it took on...
Did you not study it in 6th grade?
No.
Oh my god.
Later, or maybe I didn't, I wasn't paying attention. You were in Gifted. You studied it in
No,
Gifted.
it was not in Gifted. There was a pageant and everything. It was probably very racially insensitive.
I have no recollection of this. But later it took on much different inspiration, like Superman, Terminator, sci-fi elements. It's all over the place, which is why I like it so much. That led to the Dragon Ball anime. Okay, so
Okay.
we discussed this on our Sailor Moon episode, but generally the way it goes in Japan is there's a manga. It reaches some level of success. It had been out for 2 years by the time they decided to make an anime out of it, like they did with Dragon Ball. So on February 26th, 1986, it premiered and it ran until April 19th, 1989. And that's just an adaptation, a TV show, cartoon adaptation of the manga, verbatim. Sometimes they have to add in what we anime fans call filler, which are storylines that aren't in the book, because sometimes the TV show catches up to where the manga artist is and then they don't know what's next. So
and then they're like, hey, here's this kid's cousin.
Yes, exactly. They'll drag their
Excellent.
feet and make all this nonsense. And that aired on Fuji TV, was the network, for 153 episodes. Its directors were Minoru Okazaki and Daisuke Nishio, and it was made by Toei Animation. They tried to dub this in English and aired in America once in the late 80s by a company called Harmony Gold USA.
Yes.
They translated the first 5 episodes and then gave up because it wasn't a success. Then in 1995, Funimation, another company, they dubbed the first 13 episodes and then they gave up. It wasn't getting good ratings. So it kind of went to the wayside for a few years here. And it had been over in Japan since 1989.
Okay.
However, that's only the first, about a third of the manga. The manga, and you can kind of see it on our shelf, there starts to be a Z on the covers.
Yep.
Starting about 1/3 of the way through, the main characters age up a little bit and the storylines become a bit more serious, if you can call it that.
Okay.
It's a little less silly, more fighting focused even than it was before. And the anime adaptation of that segment, the final 2/3, is called Dragon Ball Z. There's all sorts of theories why. One possibility is the creator was kind of tired of making it, so he said, why don't you put a Z at the end, as if to say, like, Z is the last letter of the alphabet, we'll finish this soon.
This is it.
But the irony is that it went on, twice as long with that segment than it did before that, so he just could never hang this up. Like you said, they overworked these people. So Dragon Ball Z, right, they started airing that anime with the tonally shifted, more sci-fi, more action than it had been on Fuji TV, April 26, 1989. So there were 7 days in between the end of Dragon Ball and the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. And it finished on January 31st, 1996 in Japan. Around 1998, a successful dub of that series, which really is it's the same series, just later in it,
Okay.
hit in America and took off around 1998 when Cartoon Network started airing it. It was a huge success for several years. They aired the whole thing, which is like over 200 episodes. And that was so successful, partway through it in 2001, Funimation went back and they dubbed all of Dragon Ball now, the original one, and started airing it. So you'd see like an episode of Dragon Ball Z and then you might have an episode of Dragon Ball on later, which is confusing because they're the same storyline, just like almost different seasons. Does that make sense, kind of?
Yes.
It'd be like watching if Mad Men started in season 5 and then partway through airing those seasons, they just started airing seasons 1 through 4 like simultaneously. It'd be really weird. You'd watch like
It'd be a little strange.
an episode of season 6 and then later an episode of season 1 on
But
the
I'd
same
watch
day.
John Hamm do anything without context.
Fair enough.
So.
He should be Goku in the live action version. There was a live action version. We're not going to talk about it though. It was really bad. So that's Dragon Ball. That's how Dragon Ball got to America.
Okay.
All right. Now, as Rob said, you are not going to get the true experience. Pretty much every American kid, the way they saw this was they saw Dragon Ball Z first. They saw scattershot episodes of it, all out of order. It was a mess. And then you heard rumors about Dragon Ball, but you didn't. It's like, oh, there's a show where Goku's a kid, but you didn't get to see it. It was all through like weird early websites with badly translated information and these magazines, which was exciting as a kid because you're like, oh, look at all these rumors. It was currency as a kid. You could trade like, I heard this rumor about this. I heard this rumor. Just like Rob, I didn't watch consistently enough to like follow the whole story while it was on.
Yeah.
My brother did start collecting the VHS tapes at one point, but I didn't even get into that. And those were cool because the covers or the sides made a picture if you got them all. But you needed to get like tons, like 100 tapes to get this whole show. A VHS tape can only hold like an hour and a half. It's like 3 episodes.
That doesn't seem sustainable.
No, it's not. And again, that was Dragon Ball Z.
Z.
Around 2006-ish, as I was becoming nostalgic for these things already, for some reason, I'm predisposed to nostalgia, I decided I went on a mission to watch all of Dragon Ball Z, so I started acquiring the DVDs slowly, bit by bit. All right, I watched all of it, and then I went out and sought out Dragon Ball because I'm like, I'm going to finally figure all this out and watch it all. And I did, and it was amazing. It's necessary. So I'm not going to give you the truly nostalgic experience of watching it out of order because there's no point. I think it's too confusing. And I think if you're going to actually experience this show, you need to watch Dragon Ball before you watch Dragon Ball Z. Why is this good? It's pretty much everyone our age's introduction to anime. So it kicked off. It's the what's the saying? The ship that...
The face that launched 1,000 ships?
Yeah, it's the face that launched 1,000 weebs. It's so sprawling. It's wild. Like, that whole dramatic... I don't know if you can call it drama, but the fact that the episodes have continuity, like Rob said.
It's like serialized.
Okay. Yeah, yes, thank you. It's not Dexter's Lab. You know, it's the only show as a kid you could really watch that was so serialized, that was really made for your age group.
Okay.
It has a weirdly big range of concepts and ideas. There's like dinosaurs in this world, martial arts, humor, mysticism. There's deities. You end up meeting these gods in this universe. There's an afterlife.
Do you think that these guys were just throwing everything at the wall? Being
Yes.
like, what's going to make kids watch this show?
Well,
Deities, mysticism, dinosaurs, martial arts.
Honestly, it's
and
because
afterlife.
it's so long. What's he going to do?
I guess
know?
you're right.
Time travel, androids, space and aliens. There's magic. It's got everything in it. But
How
over
am I
time...
going to be able to follow all this?
That's why you have to start in Dragon Ball. That's why when Rob said we started watching what's called the Trunks saga, it made no sense, but we're like, this is amazing because it's so crazy. Okay, I said earlier it's my favorite media franchise, and one final point that I think makes it so kind of addictive, and it's the same principle all the apps on our phone use now. We're both doing Duolingo, right?
Yeah.
It's like this incremental progress. So these characters, because it's martial arts focused, they get incrementally stronger as the series goes on. And that's a criticism of it now. Like, by the end, it's ridiculous. They have to fight gods and stuff because who else could they possibly fight? But it's that feedback loop of like, oh, he trained and he got stronger. Oh, he trained and a new guy came and he's stronger. Oh, they fight.
Imagine if you had started working out when you started watching this show.
Instead of watching this show,
You would've
the
been
hours
fighting
of my
gods.
life. You're right. But I'm not. So, our plan... Because it's too long, this show. We did 35 episodes of Pokemon and one episode of Not-Stalgia, and that's an hour-and-a-half long episode.
That was a big ass.
Which is a bit much.
Yeah.
So my plan here is we're going to watch each individual story arc, which are between 10 and 20 episodes each. Each arc will be one episode of our podcast. They're not going to be back-to-back, so we may not even do more than one. If you decide, Kate, you're in the driver's seat here. If you watch this first one and say, I never want to watch anymore, that's it. If you decide we will watch more... Maybe in a few weeks, listeners, you'll hear the episode on the second story arc, and so on. And we'll just see how far we get. No promises we get through all of it, ever. Or definitely not in a timely fashion. I'm just hoping we can watch these first 13 episodes during our 2-week coronavirus,
Hiatus.
What is it called? Social distancing. During our social distancing.
I prefer to think of it as a coronacation.
Seems in poor taste. People are dying.
Yes.
Okay. Kate,
Social distancing.
Sorry for the rambling intro. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Check it out. Whoa! Bulma, how did you do that? You're some kind of a witch, aren't you?
What? Nonsense. Witchcraft has nothing to do with it. Everyone in the city has dino cabs. How could you travel without them?
Oh, this intro is a banger.
It does have a pretty sweet bass line. Oh, I like those little birds. Who's that man? I guess he's a little boy. Or flying on a cloud. A little boy with a tail's walking around. That man's hair is beautiful.
It's Yamcha.
What's that?
Master Roshi on a turtle.
Why does he look like that? But he's a turtle riding a turtle? Who's that?
Guys, we're still watching the opening sequence.
I'm concerned about how yellow that cloud is. It looks like a sulfur cloud. I like the background painting. Why are there so many babies getting abandoned in the wilderness? Ah, that's a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Why does this little boy have a tail?
I don't know, they found him in the woods.
Look at him lift that log.
He's uncommonly strong.
Why?
I don't know, they said that in the intro. The narrator said it.
That's going to be me after this COVID-19 social distancing. I'm going to be uncommonly strong. Alright, so this is young woman jewel hunter driving a fabulous turquoise car. Also, don't talk to that ball like it's your grandpa. So he lives a simple life in the woods. I'm just so confused as to why he has a tail.
If you want the truth, you're not going to find out why he has a tail until, like, episode 200.
Just tell me.
Which is pretty wild. I'm not telling.
Oh, dear God.
Just, like, he's the Monkey King in this Journey to the West. That's why he has a tail.
But, like...
They came up with a reason later.
I feel like as a well-meaning grandfather, wouldn't you just cut that off when he's a baby? That girl just hit him with the car and then shot him.
And we're discovering that he's so strong, bullets bounce off of him.
Also, Bulma, cold-hearted assassin.
Yeah.
She just shot a kid
Well,
point blank. I should get a dress with my name across the front.
Just Katie.
It's this one glove Michael Jackson thing she's got going on.
I don't know.
What a feral child. Get away from that butt. Ah! Why didn't this little guy pay attention when his grandpa said anything? He's like, I've never heard of any of these things. And then he's like, oh, I guess grandpa told me about a car and girls. Like,
Goku's a little slow.
why is everyone yelling?
They're like kids. She's like 16.
What is this?
This is the midpoint. This is the commercial
I don't know
break.
what I'm looking at.
I think we're halfway through
There's
it already.
a pig in like a communist uniform.
Yeah, there's like, so it's Oolong the pig spinning an umbrella and Goku throws Dragon Balls at it. I love the commercial bumpers.
This is why your house always got to be clean.
In case a girl runs you over with
Yeah.
her car in search of Dragon Balls, and then you have to invite her back to feed her fish.
I just hate it when the only other person you've ever met in your entire life tries to steal your grandpa. What? There's like a small little friend with a rough collar on, a woman who looks like an assassin, and then like a little kitty,
It's
I
a
guess.
dog, I think.
One of them's blue. What am I looking at?
And the girl's just like a human.
What a squad. Gotta catch 'em all.
Get the Dragon Balls.
See?
So yeah, Big Dragon comes out and will grant you a wish. She wants to wish for a boyfriend.
Oh no. Bulma.
She seems so
The
cool and independent.
All-powerful Dragon Balls. She could wish for anything. She could wish for, like, disease to go away, for everyone to have exactly what they need on Earth, for famine and war to end. What's Bulma wishing for? What a punk.
Those real Dragon Balls were the friends we made along the way.
Did she program this herself?
Yeah, Bulma's
for
like
Bulma.
a girl in STEM. In 1984. Does that excuse all the other weird stuff that's
No.
been happening in this episode? The word STEM did not even exist yet. Yeah, she's like a technical genius.
They just called it stuff girls can't do. SGCD. The minute a woman gets into science, technology, engineering, or math, she gets accused of witchcraft. Let me tell you,
Goku's just scared.
there's just a lot of weird physics happening. What?
You
What is he,
explain.
like Inspector Gadget? He just yelled at his pole to extend.
Yeah, he has this red, like, pole that he carries on his back called the power pole. It's magical. Now, this end credits is so out of step with
Who's
the
this
tone.
person?
That's Bulma, just with a different hairstyle.
I don't like it.
And she's, like, staring out a window on a rainy day.
Just seems like a lot.
My gosh, Bulma. Wow, how long is this going to take?
Look, nobody asked for your commentary. Besides, you didn't have to wake us up at this insane hour. Early birds. You can have your nasty old worm.
Well, you're moving so slow, I wouldn't be surprised if you turn into a turtle.
Goku, you can go out in public with your hair sticking out in every direction if you want to, but not me. Would you like to have coffee with me?
Nah, it doesn't taste good and it makes me feel funny. I'm gonna go exercise.
Yeah, I like the backgrounds. They look like nice and watercolory. Why does that bird have a hat on? See, here's my thing. She's a woman. She's solving problems.
And then he calls her capsules magic witch bombs.
Yeah, I like Bulma's fanny pack. This little pod they live in. Poor little Goku, just like a strange little monkey child, transported from the Stone Age. Poor Bulma. Like, I wish that she was just a girl interested in science, technology, engineering, or math.
Not completely boy obsessed.
Just completely transfixed by people kissing. Why is everyone always screaming? Like, why? Bulma has one volume. Who is this guy?
Emperor Pilaf.
Pilaf? Like
Pilaf.
rice pilaf?
Yep.
Why? I feel like I have the same stature as this little Emperor,
Emperor
Pilaf.
Pilaf. He just tried to chainsaw his little dog henchman in half. It's pretty intense.
I'm just so confused about, like, these jokes. Like, are they jokes? Are they just not landing because I'm old or because they're not good?
It's a little bit of both.
Is he a cat, a dog, a fox?
He's a dog.
I'm just tired of him, like, not understanding. Like, it was cute the first time, and every time since then it has been grating.
So yeah, Goku saw a plane and he thinks it's a bird.
Ew. Ew! I'm disgusted by this and I hate it. Ew! This is the worst. What a weird little kid. I don't like him.
What is he training for?
He just kind of, like, makes, like, sounds the whole time.
You would too if you were picking up a boulder.
What is this turtle? Why is he like this? I don't know, man. Nothing happened this episode.
They found a turtle.
That's it.
Goku took a bath.
It's like a story that, like, a 6-year-old tells you. Like, well, I found a turtle, and then I took a bath, and then I squeezed a rock really hard, and it broke.
Goku, more importantly, Goku met, what's her name, Mai and Shu?
I met a talking dog and laid in a trench coat. That's what it is. It's literally a 6-year-old telling you about their day.
Hey, yo, what about me? Aren't you going to give me a gift too?
What do you say? Did this young lady help you as well?
No, just the boy.
Hey, what about the seawater I gave you?
I think I have to side with Turtle on this one, but I could be persuaded to change my mind.
So they have put the hunt for the Dragon Balls on hold to help a turtle.
Sounds like something you would do.
I would love to help a turtle. I would be so happy. I should be so lucky to help a turtle.
Should have fostered a turtle during COVID-19.
Oh my god, I wish. Well, Bulma, why are you confronting the reality of our situation? Why can't you just be happy? Why can't you just be a happy woman who just serves me and my interests? Shut up, Goku. I don't like him. I don't like whatever this Nimbus cloud is either. What is this? It's just like a really big saber-toothed cat, but it walks on 2 legs and it has armor. That turtle's not your friend. He's just using you for transportation. Don't risk your life for the turtle. Oh my god, he's bleeding from his face. I just feel like Goku is a little too gleeful about all this.
Several times now in these first 3 episodes, like, basically murdered an enemy and has the biggest smile on his face while he does it.
Yeah, like that you're ever gonna see that turtle again. That turtle's like, oh, I have a gift for you for helping me. That turtle's in the water. He's going.
Ye of little faith.
My aesthetic is what I want to look like.
She's got like a trench coat.
She got like little job person boots. She's looking good.
Some sort of fascist insignia on her shoulder.
I will not be wearing that, obviously.
Put the Not-Stalgia logo on there instead.
I don't like this old man already. He's got really weird legs. This old man looks like a lecherous punk.
Well?
Look at him. This old man tries to give you a cloud. Don't trust him. Alright, so we know that this turtle hermit has one of the Dragon Balls.
Right, he's been wearing it around his neck. Goku and Bulma didn't seem to notice yet.
This just seems gratuitous. This is just like a long sequence of him flying on a cloud happily.
They don't want to get ahead of the manga. They're stretching these episodes out.
Oh my god, ew! Ah!
Master Roshi really needed to be Me Too'd. This isn't good.
Yeah. Oh my god. I hope this old man gets kicked in the face. This is horrific. I hate this show.
It's really not good.
I hate this. This is an automatic no for me.
At least she got the Dragon Ball.
No. She should have kicked this old man in the head and taken the Dragon Ball right from his neck.
Ronan Farrow has a book coming out about Master Roshi. It's called Catchin' Kamehameha.
Bet. I've never hated anything more than I hate this moment. I hope this guy bleeds out through his nose and dies. Turtle freak.
Alright, we're 3 episodes in. There have been several extremely distressing moments.
This is banned in our house. You're gonna have to get rid of all your DVDs.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. What's going on with you guys?
Well, we last spoke to you 6 or 7 weeks ago after promising on that call that we'd call you back in 2 weeks.
Yep, things are going great for
Yep.
us.
You know what's funny is you could tell me that you called me a year ago, I would have believed you. You could tell me that you called me a week ago, I would have believed you. I have no more concept of time.
Yeah.
It's like The Lighthouse. Have you seen The Lighthouse?
I have not seen The Lighthouse.
Oh, dude, you would
love
love it. It's made for you. You would love it.
But
All right, I'll check it out then.
check it out. It really stressed me out, though, during quarantine where we're all locked down because they just slowly go crazy on this island. And literally, at one point, Willem Dafoe is like, how long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks, 2 days. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I have no idea. Highly recommend. Extremely stressful watch during quarantine, though.
You know what was equally stressful to watch? Dragon Ball. So
Yes. Sorry.
we said we would watch 13 episodes. We made it through 3 before Katie threw in the towel. How far
Yeah.
did you get, Rob?
I got 2 episodes in before I threw in the towel.
2?
2 episodes.
Wow.
It's bad. It's bad, man.
Katie, why don't you voice your criticisms of what you saw?
And we've had this talk, Tyler, about like how much of this is cultural and how much of this is just creepy. It just the entire like Bulma's panties / underwear / complete invasion of personal space really got to me by episode 3, and I just couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't bring myself to watch another episode.
Both me as a huge Dragon Ball fan was disturbed by how much both Goku and Master Roshi in different ways violate all of Bulma's autonomy, her bodily, and just treat her really badly. And she's meant to be a teenager in this show, so it's doubly bad.
She's meant to be like 15 or 16, right?
Yes.
It was pretty much beyond the pale for me.
Yeah, I have to say that was why I stopped too. You know, it's funny because it's one of those things that as a kid, I think they toned it down originally when they first aired it in the U.S.
Yes,
but I definitely remember as a kid watching it being a little uncomfortable with that stuff, but also, being a pre-teenager, not being the most, sort of aware of what was happening, I just kind of wrote it off as a kid. A few years ago, when you lent me the Dragon Ball comic book, I remember being a little perturbed by it, but also kind of thinking, but it's like, it's different when it's a comic book, and it's like, oh, you read a panel or a page that has something like that, you kind of can glance at, I'm a quick reader, so I tend to, go through stuff like that faster.
Yeah,
It was really the second episode where it didn't seem to move along at all, and just kind of focus on different ways to sort of violate Bulma's personal space. It just really, I had to stop watching it at that point.
Yeah, it's a bummer, because, I was a little older when I first saw Dragon Ball, because I had watched all of Dragon Ball Z when I was pretty young, and I got Dragon Ball, on DVD in my teens, and I just would make excuses for it, probably because I loved the series so much that I'm like, all right, it's just 3 episodes. But yeah, it's a really bad way to set the tone for the entire series.
I remember reading in that comic book that you lent me, Tyler, they had certain letters from, I guess in the, when they were originally published in, Shonen magazine, they would have, letters answered by the writer. So you would see Akira Toriyama answer people's questions, and he'd get a lot of fan mail for Bulma, and he'd always be like, yeah, I get a lot of people who say they like Bulma, but I don't really get it. I find her annoying. I mean, why did you write that character? So, I don't know, kind of famously, there's some attitudes about the author that have always kind of not been amazing, not been great. And I think you're right that a lot of it is cultural. We're talking about something that was published almost 40 years ago in a different country with different standards. But it's still, even while, I can recognize on some level that it's coming from a different frame of reference than I am, that doesn't mean I necessarily want to interact with that,
Yeah.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's illuminated manuscripts from, the 1400s that are a little creepy, So, different time, but still creepy.
So, my proposal then is we try this again, if Katie's willing, with Dragon Ball Z, probably the Kai version because it's a little tighter and a little shorter, so we can check in and see, if Akira Toriyama has seen the error of his ways, in those intervening years between the start of Dragon Ball and the start of Dragon Ball Z.
I will say that I don't want to spoil it too much. I recently finished Dragon Ball Super, the newest Dragon Ball series, and there is a plot line where they address that stuff. And I'm not going to say they address it in the best way. But, one of the things is, Master Roshi has to learn to stop objectifying women.
That's literally a storyline on the show?
Yeah, it's there's an episode where they're getting ready for a big tournament, and Master Roshi is going to join them. And he's and they're like, hey, look, there's going to be a lot of women in this tournament, so maybe you should clean up your act.
Wow. Dragon Ball got woke.
They definitely have improved over the years.
Okay.
But maybe not, again, at the pace of about 30-plus years.
Right.
So.
I hope they do an arc where he goes to jail finally for all of his crimes.
I want the Master Roshi expose that's hey, look, it's time. He used his influence as a karate master for too long.
Yep. If I had all the Dragon Balls, I would wish Master Roshi out of existence.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And there definitely are, I think it gets better overall as a series, but especially, I don't recall anything being as bad as these first couple of episodes. Again, these are going up.
Yeah, there's a few moments here and there where Bulma gets treated badly in the, oh my god, what is it, the fortune teller, what's her name, arc?
Baba?
Yes. Where similar stuff happens.
So that's probably what's going on there.
Yeah, But it does, from my memory, I agree with you, it tones down, which is why I think Dragon Ball Z might be an okay way to start. So in maybe like 40 more weeks from now, we will give you a call and tell you what we thought of Dragon Ball Z, the first arc.
With quarantine, we'll start Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
Well, thank you for being a good sport, and I'm glad that you also gave up, because we never told you we gave up, so I was worried you were going to be like, yeah, dude, I watched all of it, and then continued even further. How far did you guys get?
It was one of those things where, like, after I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore, I was like, well, you know, it's their show, so, like, I feel like I can probably, and I've read it, so I can get away with talking about it if need be.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like we can't get away with the exact same reaction.
Which I guess unfortunately means we're growing up, because you and I definitely would have never given up on Dragon Ball 10 years ago even.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I think of, like, and I can't think of any time in our past as Dragon Ball fans where, like, we would be like, no, you know, I don't think we would call it being something that we discussed as, you know, kids, being Dragon Ball fans.
Yeah, because we were just, you know, I speaking for myself, I was just always willing to, like, look over that because, you know, I liked every other part of it so much I didn't necessarily want to acknowledge the problems.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as you say, we've grown up, and also even our culture has shifted
Very true.
in a way where, like, I feel better equipped to, like, recognize these issues than I, like, did when I was a young man.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's hoping that Dragon Ball Z gives us less to have to recognize.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I'm not hopeful.
I really don't want any. I feel like I can only take so many times that I have to face the things that I like and say nope. So hopefully Dragon Ball Z holds up.
All right, well, we will talk to you probably no time soon about that. All right, dude?
Yeah, talk to you sometime. Soon or maybe not soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, what do you know? A fistful of dollars.
Dragon Ball will return in a moment.